We don't remember all the details in the beginning, but most of us are safely in our mother's womb, free falling until the day we meet life. Once the pandemic hit, I knew I wanted to keep my mind occupied and try out a new hobby. Skydiving was always on my bucket list, and I wanted to experience it with no one attached to me. So I did some research and found out that I needed to acquire a license to be able to do it by myself. I remember on that day when we jumped out of the plane, I started to feel my anxiety rise and symptoms I felt 4 other times prior. Numbness in the left side of my face and tongue, my left arm going out, feeling paralyzed. But this time it was completely different than the past times because this time I couldn't think straight or speak. The instructor kept on talking to me. I could hear him, but I couldn't talk back. I was mumbling my words. At that point, I knew I was having a stroke. The next day after my brief episode, I started the process of acquiring my skydiving license. At this point, I jump with 2 instructors, but fly the canopy down by myself. I knew I needed to calm down so I wouldn't trigger the flow in my heart. Everything went well. At that point, I really enjoyed skydiving. For me, when I start things, I had to finish them. Whenever I would get anxious, nervous, or stressed out, I would feel a flow in my heart, as if a river were passing through it. But instead of water, it's blood scraping on the edges of a riverbank. But in my case, the edges of the walls in my heart. Blood flowing from one side of the heart to the other. This is the best way I can describe that feeling. I felt it. I felt the flow rising. After heading to the bathroom, my tongue, the left side of my face, and left arm became numb. My left arm gave out again and was paralyzed. I couldn't move it. This was now the 5th time I've had these similar symptoms. I was going to ignore it again like every other time and try to get some sleep. But I was being told that something was wrong. After a long wait at the urgent care and scans, the doctor came in the room with a worried look. The doctor said, "There's an issue that's affecting your brain. We need to send you to the hospital immediately." The doctors told me that in the past I have had a major stroke, which I can now clarify that it was the time that I did my first skydive because of how violent and different it was from the other times. This time that I was taken to the hospital, I had a transient ischemic attack, which is a minor stroke. They told me that at this point, I should have been paralyzed and in a wheelchair after so many strokes. They also questioned me not having any deficiencies in my movement or speech. The cardiologist found a hole in my heart, which was the issue for the strokes, and also found something he wasn't expecting, a mass on my heart. This now made things more worrisome because this could be cancer. The doctors immediately decided on open heart surgery to further investigate the issue. I have a vivid memory of the cardiologist coming into the room and telling us about the mass that he had found in my heart. And my dad telling him that once they open me up to do the surgery, the mass is going to be gone, that it wasn't going to be there anymore. And the cardiologist just stared, as most of us would. At this point, there was nothing I could do. I had to let go and stop worrying and accept what was going to happen. I also knew that so many people were praying for me, and when so many people are praying in faith, I've seen time and time again, those prayers are answered. I was feeling a lot of emotions. I was worried if I was able to live a normal life after the surgery. I remember as they were putting me to sleep, I felt present, as if I was at peace with God. For the procedure, they had to cut me open, break my sternum in half using a small chainsaw. They used a clamp to hold the opening in place, collapsed my lungs, and stopped my heart. Once they stopped my heart, you could say I was dead for a moment. My whole perspective on life had changed after the surgery. I remember waking up in pain afterwards. I had a tube in my mouth. When I would gulp, the tubing would rub against my sternum. The battle was not over just yet. The doctors and staff needed to retrain me on how to walk. Who would have thought that you would need to learn how to walk all over again? Our bodies are so vulnerable. We take them for granted. I spent the remainder of the month in recuperation. I spent a lot of my time with my friends and my family. In January, I started to move around more, socializing and interacting with society. The heart surgeon told my parents that they found the hole that was causing the strokes. They were able to close it completely, and as far as the mass, they looked for it, but it was gone. It had disappeared. But I feel that God has done this so I can tell the story and be a testimony of His power, and also to teach me things such as letting go, trust, faith, and not relying on my own power. What had happened was a miracle. How was I living life and doing what I was doing with a hole bigger than a quarter in my heart and a mass that was gone? In my life at this very moment, my intentions are to live life to the fullest and to keep working on my goals and dreams. As far as skydiving, I want to travel to various places around the world and skydive. I want to eventually become an instructor to teach others about a sport that is misunderstood and that has helped me cope with many hardships in life. Every day I wake up, I remember the feeling of numbness and being paralyzed and not wanting to feel that ever again. I then stare at myself in the mirror and lift up my shirt and see the scar that was left behind. This reminds me of how blessed I am to be here, still being able to move around and live my life like before. When I see the scar, I see the power of God in my life. I see a blessing in disguise. I see another chance at life. I see a new beginning. This scar is also a constant reminder of living life as if you were going to be gone tomorrow. Atrial septal defect. It's a condition that causes a hole in the wall between the heart's upper chambers. It's hereditary, and I've been battling with it since an early age. If it weren't for God, my family, my friends, and medical professionals, you'd be witnessing a ghost. I learned many things from this experience, that life can change in an instant. One day I was good, the week before that jumping out of planes, and the next week I was in the hospital because of a stroke. Enjoy life, don't take it for granted. Go after your dreams and goals because tomorrow is not promised. And maybe I was not going to die, but I could have been in a wheelchair and would have to deal with fighting cancer in my heart. I can't even imagine that. Another thing I learned is to let go, but really let go. If it is out of your control, you have to leave it to God and keep faith, because once you start to think negative, the outcome is more likely to be a negative one. This experience definitely changed my perspective in life. Let me be the messenger, and don't wait for you to go through something drastic in order for you to change how you look at life. I can tell you firsthand, life is beautiful and don't take it for granted. Let go of any anger, be happy, love, forgive, be kind, and live life to the fullest. Go skydive, go start that business, go back to school and finish, maybe get your master's or PhD. Whatever you want, as long as it doesn't hurt anyone and you're happy, then do it.